You've probably heard that AI is coming to transform your entire business. The robots are here, there's nothing you can do, and this is just reality now. Well, I have on good authority to push back against this narrative because I've been working with AI since 2021, before ChatGPT was even a thing, and I even bet an entire business on it. And I can safely say what I've learned goes against the things that you're being sold. And in this video, you're gonna learn how your expertise is actually your greatest moat in an AI-first world, things to avoid that get owners burned by AI, as well as ways that you can start to implement AI without giving over the keys to the castle. Now, you've probably heard these two things about AI, and you may believe it, you might be even excited about some of it, but I wanted to just discuss it here real quick. Number one is that the robots have come, everything's gonna be taken over by robots, humans will cease to have value, we're gonna be on universal income, and that's just gonna be life. Or two is that you'll still have work to do, but AI agents are gonna come in and do most of the work, and you're just gonna kind of sit back, manage these robots, and collect all of the benefits from the work that they do. Now, neither one of these is inherently bad, but it's just really faulty thinking, and it doesn't help that a lot of YouTube people out there, the AI influencers that have popped up, are saying, oh, look at this, this used to be a $10,000 website that you can now build with the click of a button. Or this entire team is going to be replaced by AI. Now, some of this is true, that AI is going to create way more efficiencies. It's going to be able to do work in a more systematic and predictable way. But that's nothing really too different than old school automation. And with old school automation, those failed all the time too. So we should only expect that AI is going to increase the amount of trial and error and failures in a business, which debunks the whole idea that it's going to replace everybody. Now, in 2021, I had a side business that I started because I found a tool called Conversion.ai, which was a writing tool, and it blew my mind that it could do marketing copy and write blogs, and it eventually became Jasper.ai. After being Jarvis.ai, but there was some, issues with Marvel and they changed to Jasper, and Jasper is still around today. I don't know exactly what they're doing. I think they're targeting more enterprise businesses for, AI stuff, but who knows? You can go look it up. Well, I saw the potential in the writing to be able to curate a blog and leverage that for SEO. And because humans are lazy, I'm lazy, you're lazy, we are all lazy to a certain degree. I saw this as kind of a way to amplify my output and be able to rank on Google for keywords that were affiliate focused. So they would be like a top 10 article in the music review space. And it worked. I was writing articles and I was ranking and I was selling gear through my affiliate links. It was going to Sweetwater, and I was doing multi six-figure in sales. That wasn't my commission, but sales for Sweetwater throughout the year, writing blogs, leveraging AI. However, the thing that I realized really quickly was that the AI output was not that good. And it really just tricked me into basically doing the work. It's because I thought, I could use this tool and it's gonna produce the blogs and I can just post them, not realizing that it would produce a draft that I would have to go in and heavily edit. And at the end of it, it almost just felt like I should have done it myself. And a lot of times the final version to the AI version was drastically different. So it really just turned into here's a first draft, very, very rough. And I had to go through and actually use my expertise. I have been a musician my entire life, so I know the topic. And going in and massaging it and writing it and making it sound like what it needed to sound like, and it really didn't save all that much time. If anything, it just kept me from staring at a blank page, and it motivated me to do the work. But it worked, and it got me to write over hundreds of articles, and they ranked, and they were getting traffic, and I was making sales, and I was getting commission, and it was all hunky-dory. However, 2023 rolled around, and Google released an update, annihilated my website. My website disappeared from the rankings. It wasn't just my website, it was all websites like mine disappeared from the rankings because AI was coming, and they were going to start leveraging AI in their search results, and they were trying to combat AI slop at the time. And that entire industry just imploded on itself. And I was part of it. and everything failed and my website went down the drain. Now, losing the site was very disheartening because you had something that was growing and you were watching money come in, and then overnight you watched it just plummet. And in the moment, you can blame Google, you can blame AI, you can blame the landscape. But over time, what I realized was the skill that I was building wasn't how to make a website, how to make articles rank. It was how to discern AI, how to know when AI is confidently wrong or giving you something that just is not quite up to par with what needs to be created, especially in this new era. Because now that AI is here, it's going to raise the bar for everybody. People who weren't that good at things can now be much better than they were thanks to AI. And people who are really good at stuff, if they're not careful and just rely on AI and get lazy, like we all want to do, and kind of what the promise of AI is that you can just let it do its thing and you don't have to do any more work or think anymore, it's going to lower their ability to produce really good work. And those that are out in the middle, they're going to need to either adapt and get better and work on their craft to raise the bar, or they're just going to basically become the bottom. Now, this is where your expertise comes into play, and it's the thing that is the moat for AI in the new AI world. It's the thing that debunks this idea that AI is going to come and take over. The robots are here. You're no longer going to work, or it's going to replace huge chunks of your team, and it's just going to be you managing a bunch of AI robots. Because the expertise is the thing that the robots miss. They can pattern match really, really well and do a really good job at guessing on what will be the answer or the thing that someone's looking for. But then it's the nuance, the devil in the details. It's the things that it can't pattern match against, the taste. In writing, there's going to be ways that you write that are going to communicate in a way that an AI just can't understand, because the AI is aiming for perfection. And perfection is sterile. When it comes to creative arts, when it comes to writing, when it comes to graphics, when it comes to design, AI can really raise the bar for you and get you stuff that you could not do by yourself before without hiring a designer. However, there's still going to be a level of someone coming in and knowing the craft, knowing what looks good or how to train or tweak what AI gives back to be able to elevate it to a space that's going to actually stand out. So your expertise matters, and not just your expertise, but the people that you work with, their expertise matters. And the challenge right now, and this is the exciting part of AI, is that your team is not reaching their potential. I can guarantee that. I work at AWS in partner marketing, and I can tell you there's a lot of brilliant people there that are all bogged down by systematic problems, by tools that don't make sense, by knowledge that's just totally fragmented and it's hard to find. And so a lot of time is just trying to decipher what's real, what's not real, and troubleshooting tools or working with tools and updating stuff within a spreadsheet. And that is not efficient, and that is not growing someone's expertise. AI can keep everything consolidated. It can make sure that information that changes in one platform changes in another, and then ensure that everything is unified. It can reduce tooling or consolidate tooling in a way that just wasn't available before, and or you needed to have some kind of custom solution built. If you're working with internal operations, you really don't need to create the most award-winning application that's going to be used by hundreds of thousands of people. So it needs to, meet really strict architecture standards. It can be pretty homegrown and done by someone who traditionally may not have built a workflow, because it's only going to be used by a group of people that, can give feedback quick, and if things break, it's okay because, it's already providing efficiency gains in their work and it's not touching customers. That's a little bit of a digression, but just to show you that it doesn't take a computer science degree to leverage AI to help reduce the burden of tool sprawl and the fragmentation of knowledge. And what that does is when you get rid of that with AI, is that you then free someone to be able to move forward into their expertise, to sharpen their axe. So that way, when they start to work with AI and the AI is giving them back responses they can be in tune to what the AI is missing, the human component, the thing that is going to take a good LLM response and elevate it to a really excellent human response. And that is what you need to be taking out of this whole AI is going to come and change your business forever. That's the way it's going to change it. It's going to make it to where your people will actually become better. You're going to become better, and you're going to be able to do it with having to have less cognitive load. You're going to have to worry about less things or getting burnt out by troubleshooting a platform or inputting in data or whatever it may be that's just not high value work. And it's now available to all businesses because you don't need to hire an operations team. You don't need to hire an agency to do these things. You can work in the tools yourself and build the things yourself. That's the incredible thing. But it still comes at a cost because it's not just going to be plug and play. So you're going to want to have frameworks and tools and things that will help you to be able to leverage AI, the wild animal that it is, and put it into a box so it can be repeatable, because AI just on its own is unpredictable. You can't put it into production or put it into your internal operations just as is or through a web interface, because it will always output something different every single time. And this is where we need to take a step back and understand the value of code and traditional automations, where traditional code was deterministic, meaning that it was the game mousetrap. It was a perfect mousetrap. You put a ball at the top, it runs through it, and it goes through every spot every single time consistently, comes out the other end, and it's predictable. AI throws in crazy variability, and you need to contain it around the code. Now, if I'm getting a little too technical for you here, that's okay, because that's exactly what all these coding harnesses like Claude Code and Codex and Google's anti-gravity are built to do, is to build the code, to build the scripts that you can run around the AI to be able to leverage the best of both worlds. You don't need to fully understand what code's doing or systems architecture, because the LLMs are really good at understanding that and building it. Again, with the caveat that you're not trying to build systems that are going to be customer facing and hundreds of thousands of people are going to be trying to access it and do something on. That's an entirely different scope, and that's not the scope that we're talking about. Yes, the coding harnesses can do that as well, but that does take a level of expertise. Again, going back to the knowledge of knowing what it is you're looking for as a response from the LLM, because the LLM will be confidently wrong a lot of the time. So this is the importance of your expertise in being curious and continuing to learn and not letting the headlines defeat you or make you think, well, it's all worthless. Why would I even try when AI is accelerating at insane paces? It has the knowledge of the entire world. It's only getting more intelligent, and it's able to do way more things. Well, I mean, what is the point? Well, the point is the expertise. You're just never going to be replaced that with AI. AI is programmed for perfection. You as a human understand nuance, you understand taste, things that will connect with a human that just can't be measured. It's amazing how we have gone so far into digital that we just forget about the human element of just vibe. Like, I guess, we're talking about vibe coding, but just the vibe of people, like how you interact with someone, the character of somebody, their humor, their likes, their desires, like what they dream about. And, all those things play a part into how you show up and provide value as a business owner in the market. And that matters. That will never not matter. Relationships and people, that is the whole point of business. And without that, it ceases to exist. That's why I will not buy into this robots are going to take over the world, because if a robot's talking to a robot, there's no value between that. There's no value exchange. It's just, it's nothing. It's meaningless. So I can't say it enough. Your expertise matters. It's going to matter even more in an AI world, because everything's going to be great, produced by LLMs. It's all going to go on the world. Everything's going to be polished and really be a lot more elevated than it was before. But that's going to become the new floor. And you that shows up with your expertise, leveraging AI as a superpower, you're going to win in the market. And I will die on that hill. Now, things to be aware of, and I've already touched on this a little bit, is that you're going to be tempted to just trust the AI or run multiple threads. And I've done this so many times and I still do it to try to tackle too much because you're still going to be the bottleneck. You only have so much ability to think and think well and to look at the outputs that the LLM is giving you and be discerning on if it's good or not. And that will never change. You're going to have your limits. So you need to learn how to compress the amount of time you're doing important work with AI and make sure you're checking everything that it's giving you. Even go and reference what it built. Read it, challenge it, ask it why it decided to do one thing over the other. What is it that it's trained on, or what is it picking up from you that is pattern matching on that could be leading you down a really bad rabbit trail where now all of a sudden you're trying to fix problems that weren't even there in the beginning, that happened after you branched off into some tangent that the LLM took you on. Make sure to be discerning at every single given point. Treat it like it's someone that is sitting in front of you that you are collaborating with, not just accepting whatever it is that they give you. This is going to keep you from lowering yourself to the new baseline and continually pushing yourself to be an expert, and you're raising the bar that's going to stand out in a market that is going to be flooded with AI outputs. And the AI outputs are going to become very recognizable. It started with the M dashes in the writing. There's app design that you can start to see that this was created by Claude Code. I can just tell by the font and the colors and the way it's designed. You can see it in infographics. It's going to be a lot of the same. All of it's going to look impressive. It's going to be good. And before AI, it would have been amazing. And you would have paid a designer probably a lot of money to make it. But that's just going to be the new floor. All the people that weren't able to do it before are now going to be able to do it. So you have to stick to your expertise, and you have to challenge the AI, and you have to put boundaries around how much time you spend working in AI and how many threads you're working at any given time. AI is never going to tell you to stop until you're rate limited and you can't actually work anymore, but it won't tell you to stop. You need to learn to discern for yourself when it is that you need to stop, take a break, get outside, go live your life. Now, the beauty of AI is as you iterate with it, you can ask it to save that as memory. A lot of these platforms now have systems memory that you can bake into it, so that way as you start to chat to the bot again, it'll know who you are, your context, what you're working on, and the rules of how you like to work. However, with the current state of the online chatbots, and even with the coding agents like Claude Code and Codex, you still get a lot of drift, meaning that it will forget context around earlier conversations. It may forget certain things that you asked it not to do. It may even start going down a trail and lose the context of the thread, and now it's working off of the most current context while the most important context was at the beginning when you started the project, but now it's forgotten. So with that, I have developed a system where it's a system of folders that lives on your computer. It's LLM agnostic, meaning it doesn't matter which LLM you're using, and it's built like a developer repo that has checkpoints and saves, and you can revert, you can branch off, you can do a whole lot of stuff. And it also, as it's working, is maintaining its memory. It's building out rules on the way that you want to work. It's understanding your context for your business, and it goes in layers. And as you work with it, it gets even better. It's the system that I built while struggling over the past year doing automation work for clients. And I have built this thing out to be able to help me accelerate my ability to learn, to grow, to sharpen my expertise, while also being able to leverage the AI and output tasks in a way that has, won me like $18,000 contracts. That entire system, you can check it out for free by clicking on the link below. And if you are a savvy person, you'll be able to take that system, build your own, and be off the races to ensure that you're leveraging AI in a way that's going to expand your expertise and do everything I've talked about in this video so you're not going to be left behind in the AI era. So where does this all leave us? Again, your expertise matters. It will matter even more in the age of AI. And if anything, it's going to make it much easier to show up and be scrappy and to be authentic and not have to have everything polished, because AI is going to make everything super polished. So your authenticity and your expertise are critical. You want to avoid using AI in long periods of time, doing multiple threads. You have to check everything that it produces, and you only have so much brain power. So you have to choose the most important task and spend your time on that in small chunks, just like you would work with any human being. And on top of that, the way you're going to want to leverage this is by building out systems that will be able to build memory around your tone of voice, how you like working, outputs that you love, outputs that you don't like. When it's missing nuance, you give a nuance and it remembers the next time you show up. The only way I've found to be able to do this well is through a system of folders and files, kind of like an operating system for your brain that lives on your computer. That doesn't matter what kind of LLM you use, what model you use, it will be able to go into the systems and understand your working style and how to just maintain, organize, and keep everything in sync so you never lose the thread of the plot of your workload. So I think that we are living in a very exciting timeline here when it comes to the world and work and AI. I just think that we have to take our heads out of the narrative that it's going to take over the world, it's going to destroy the world, it's going to remove people from having any value, and just understand it's another tool, it's a utility, you need to learn to work with it, and if you continue just to sharpen your skills, your expertise, then AI is going to make a lot more sense to you and how you can leverage it for your business moving forward. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next video.